My name is Lawson Hunsicker, and this is the Communications 101 class, and this is my audience. Let's see. Do you see yourself? Okay. Do you see yourself over there? Hello? Hello? Do you see yourself? Okay. All right. All right. And there I am. All right. I am so happy to tell you about one of the loveliest ladies I ever knew. I was a 21-year-old wife in Richmond, Virginia, and my mother had died, and this kind, smiling woman came to help me. She lived on the TV, and her name was Betty VID00005. Every day, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, she came to my house for 30 minutes and helped me. She had graduated from the University of Tennessee, you have to say it like that, Tennessee, in a time when home economics was a big deal, and she went to work in the extension office in Charlotte. In 1954, she got invited to do a 2-week thing on TV that turned into 23 years of the Betty VID00005 show. I didn't know her until 1973, but for the next 4 years, Betty was my best friend. She talked at super speed, but it didn't feel hurried, and she knew everything. She told me what to do, and I tried it. We talked about sewing and cooking and gardening and decorating and cleaning the commode. She called it a commode. She was very genteel. Betty tried everything out at home first, and if something didn't work, she'd tell you about that too. One time she was sewing a dress on TV, and it wasn't going well, so she just pulled out her seam ripper and chatted away while I sat with her and watched her take a dress apart. She had 3 kids, and they would come on the show sometimes. Once she showed everybody how to make a Halloween costume with just a few little tweaks. You could use it every year for many years to come. Cost was always important to Betty. She was sort of famous for one of her ideas for an inexpensive Christmas present. She twisted fireplace tapers out of newspapers and packed them in a Pringles can, covered them with contact paper, and stuck a bow on it. You had to see it. It was just beautiful. If you wanted to get fancy, she said you could use the funny papers instead of regular newspapers. On food TV, stuff is fancy. But when Betty showed us how to cook a turkey, she used the most beat-up looking old pan right out of her kitchen. It had dents and spots, and she'd talk a mile a minute, use salt, paper, and tin foil, and out would come a beautiful turkey. I never have understood since then why people freak out at Thanksgiving and call turkey hotlines. I guess they just did not know Betty. She taught me to cook. She taught me to try. When babies came and cried all night long, Betty would be there in the morning. Everything would calm while she read some viewer mail to us. Everything would be okay. She also made sure I knew it was okay to do it wrong, and if you couldn't fix it, to pick up and go on. Everything doesn't always work. Betty got cancer around 1977. She had to leave her TV show, and it broke my heart. She died the next year. She was 53. But before she left, she talked to me and to all of us, her friends who sat with her every morning, and she told us very gently but very firmly, live so that when you are gone, it will have mattered. Yes, ma'am, Betty. I will try. You taught me to try. Betty VID00005, you mattered to me. Thank you for coming. Oh, my.